We begin our call this morning, as we always do, with the head coach at North Carolina A&T, Shawn Gibbs. Good morning, Coach Gibbs.
Good morning, Rob. How are you?
I'm well. I hope you are too. Tough start for your team, but you certainly showed a lot of heart and a lot of character, rallying from 30-9 down to within 37-30. Had a final drive even to potentially tie the game before coming up a little bit short. Just give me your impressions on the game.
Yeah, like you said, it was a tale of two halves. We came out in the first half and just didn't perform, didn't execute, gave up 30 points. And then the second half, we're able to hold them to seven. We were in the game at the end and had a chance to win, just couldn't execute down the stretch. And that's what we got to do but I'm getting tired of coming close. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And it's time for us to find a way to win these games. We're finding a way to stay in them or fight back, but we got to find a way to win some games, find a way to come out and play with the energy and intensity and effort that it takes from the beginning. 60 minutes of football. And I think if we can do that, then we give ourselves a chance. And that's all you can ask for is a chance.
Have you and your coaches, as you've looked back, been able to kind of put your finger on the slow starts at all?
Uh, I think, what I told the team is what I learned during the main game was belief uh, is something else. It's very strong, but so is non-belief. So I don't know if we're going into these games believing and knowing that we're prepared and we can win the game. I think once we get it close, then you can see the energy change and guys really start playing with the effort and intensity that it takes. So finding a way to get these guys to believe in their preparation and believe that they're good enough to go out and win some games, that's the only thing that I can see.
We're here with North Carolina A&T head coach Shawn Gibbs. If you have a question for him this morning, just use the chat feature or the raise your hand icon. As you touched on after that tough second quarter, especially your defense in the second half holds Maine to just 7 points, the one touchdown in the third quarter. What do you feel like changed, and what were you able to do so much better over the second half?
Well, in the first half, we gave them some stuff. There was a couple calls we wish we had back. We didn't have the right call, and they were able to exploit it. So I think we did a better job of getting guys in position to make plays in the second half, and then they were able to execute the one that still bothers me is we gave up a touchdown on the same play we gave up a touchdown on the week before. Um, so when we make those mistakes, we got to find a way to correct them and not let it happen again and get our eyes in the right place and make sure that we're communicating like we should. Alignment and assignment. If we can do those things, I think we'll be okay. We got to keep the ball in front of us, stop giving up explosives, and then we can give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's been the big plays in a number of those games as you've gone back, and it's just been maybe guys just not in the right spot. Is that basically what it's been?
Yeah, yeah, it's either not in the right spot or not making a play when they have the opportunity to. And that's on us too. We got to get them. We got to make sure they're in the right spot, and then we got to coach them up and get them where they have the skill set to make those plays. But that's football in general. If you give up explosive plays, you're going to be in trouble. If you can make an offense consistently have 10 or 12 play drives, eventually they're going to make a mistake. So, we need to play bend but don't break rather than giving up all these explosives.
One of the guys on that side, obviously another good game from Tim Alderman, but Corbin Wilson with a nice game, 5 tackles, a sack, forced a fumble in that game. Just talk about his performance.
Yeah, Corbin's a guy that we moved over from receiver and not at the beginning of the camp, uh, well in the camp, almost at the first game. So to see the progression that he's made in such a short time is encouraging. He's definitely got the skill set to be a good player. He's a big kid. He can run. He's smart. Now that he can just ease into the position, and it's a position he played in high school, but it's new to him on a collegiate level. So once he can ease into it, we think we got us a good player there.
Offensively, another nice day from Kevin White, career high 279 yards through the air, a couple of touchdowns, and helped rally you back. What were you able to see from him? And he's been able to, we talked about it a little bit last week, but add some explosive big play ability to your offense.
Right. Well, he's a warrior. He's a competitor. He's a guy that has great energy into the game at all times, always encouraging guys, trying to motivate people, and he's made some plays. I think with Kev, the main thing for us to do is really focus on his fundamentals. There's a couple throws I know he wishes he had back, and when you look back at the film, it's all fundamentals with footwork and things of that nature. So once we can get him to settle in and play fundamentally sound, and then you add his athletic ability onto that, I think we're going to have us a really good quarterback.
Your running numbers haven't been probably where you would like them in the last couple of games, but some of that is when you're having to play from behind. How much of it is that having to the status of the game, and how much of it is maybe concern and not being able to run quite as much as maybe you'd like?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but the main thing for me is we haven't been able to come out and establish a run early. So even when we're not behind, we're not able to run the ball efficiently like we want to. And it's just like anything else, it's always one guy. One guy let somebody cross his face or whatever the case may be. So we gotta do a better job of getting a hat on a hat, playing with the proper technique. And honestly, our runners got to do a good job of being their own blocker, because we can't block all 11 defenders. So you're going to have to make two guys miss on most plays, and break some tackles or whatever. So it's all the way around. I think schematically we've been on point as far as the plays that's been called. It's just the execution of what we're trying to do, and it's a process, and we're working, and where we're coming from. This is it's extremely hard. But once we get these guys to buy into doing things the right way, I think we'll start to have some success. But in order for us to win football games, we're going to have to be able to run the football.
One guy who had a big afternoon, a couple of big plays was Elijah Kennedy, 60-yard reception from the wide receiver spot, and then that 85-yard punt return in the fourth quarter got you back within 7 and gave you a chance for that final drive. How big of a boost was that play, and what makes him such a big play threat, both as a receiver and a returner?
Yeah, that was the play that got us back in the game and really made us start believing. Elijah, we call him EK, is a special player. He's a walk on. We just let him know that we're putting him on scholarship last week, but he's a guy that's consistent. We always say consistent, reliable performance is more important than sporadic greatness. Now he was able to make some great plays, but the strength to him is he's always where he's supposed to be. He's always doing what he's supposed to do. He's always playing with the type of effort that's required. So, he's one of the guys on the team that I look to lead this team in the future.
Let's look ahead to Saturday. Your team back on the road in conference play on Saturday at William and Mary. As you've started to prep for William and Mary, what are some of the challenges they present for you?
Well, it doesn't get any easier. I'll tell you that. In this conference, it doesn't get any easier. So they're a well-coached team. Coach London does a great job. They're a big physical team. So, you know, some of the things that we want to do, they don't want to allow you to do it. So it's going to be a challenge. We want to run the football. They don't want to allow you to run the football. They got big, strong, athletic guys over there. But that's what this conference is full of, teams with big, strong, athletic guys that are well coached. So again, just like every week, our main challenge is to make sure we take North Carolina A&T off the schedule. We can't beat ourselves playing a good, a good program, excuse me, like William and Mary. You especially can't do it. So, our challenge is to have a great week of practice, get prepared, get these guys in position to make plays, and then go out and execute on Saturday.
Their quarterback, Tyler Hughes, has had a really nice season, both as a runner and a thrower. What concerns you about what he does?
Well, anytime you face a dual threat quarterback, that's always a concern. The defensive coordinator usually doesn't have a good week of sleep when you're playing somebody like that, because when the play breaks down, and things get off schedule, he can make plays with his feet. So that presents a tremendous challenge to our defense. So we got to make sure that we have eyes on him. We got to make sure that we're in our rush lanes and that we're trying to keep him contained. And at the same time, we can't allow anything to get behind us, because he can burn us that way too. So he's a good quarterback. It's going to be a great challenge, but that's what college football is about: playing in games like this, playing good programs at home. So we're going on the road. It's going to be fun.
All right, Coach. Thanks as always for your time.